Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything. Wherever you are on the surface of the earth, this very instant, hearing my voice. How are you doing? Welcome to the Word Cafe podcast. How are you doing? What is it like at your end? Yes, what's happening? The weather, you know, life, and all of that. I know you're good. I'm good where I am. Yep, I'm good. Thanking God for life, thanking God for grace, thanking God for His mercies, thanking God for everything. Yes, like I always say, this is my safe space. Whenever I come into this, be it virtual or physical, as you may want to call it, space, I come alive. Yes, because I have one thing that makes me so happy. Words. Yep. For me, they are the unit of creation. Ah, yes. So, what are we going to be doing today? A lot has been going on. A lot. Recently, I was privileged, honored. I was invited to share some thoughts on career transitions, and I was so glad that's by the Gemstone Foundation. That is by my mentor Safela Durotoyi, and it was quite pleasant, I must say. Now, it's not just about career transitioning. Now, for me, one big chunk of our lives that we cannot do without, no matter how much you try, it will never go away, is work. Yes, we express our lives through work. You may call it vocation, occupation, profession, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is work. And somebody said there's dignity in labor as in work. There's dignity, and there's a lot. Our lives, work practically defines who we are. We are known by what we do, just like what scripture says, by their fruits they will be known. You shall know them. So if you want to have a good knowledge about anybody, look at what they do for, as we call it, a living. What brings you up in the morning, sets you on the on your way, and you go out frantically moving from one end of the earth to the other. Work. Yep. And it was exciting. So I want to share, some thoughts from that meeting, what I shared. But now I'm looking at it beyond the worlds of work. I'm looking at it even our lives. There's something that we deal with every day of our lives. Change. How to move from one point to the other. We deal with it, be it in our personal space, with our kids, for those of us who have kids, with our wives, our husbands, our spouses, as the case may be. There's always this change. Even if you look at it internally, there's change going on. When you put food in your mouth, the journey it makes from your mouth to the point of metabolism, and your body takes in the nutrients and releases the waste. All of these processes, they are facilitated by the phenomenon called change. So you must have courage to change. I take that again. You must have courage to change. Sometimes you need to initiate change. Yes, to break out. And change follows a pattern, a process. Yep, it follows a process. Just like you for a musical piece, you see the way the transitions come. how you jump from one note to the other. But there's something I've come to realize, that every form of change takes this energy from us, be it a physical exertion or a spiritual exertion. Like you need to exert yourself. There's this change that comes, but it's driven by energy. So I'm going to begin this conversation from looking at it from the thermodynamic principles. Like you for those of us who did physics in school or chemistry, you want to bring about a change in the system. You consider things like pressure, volume, time. The minute you change one of these factors, or rather, the minute you alter one of these factors, there's a change you have initiated into that system. Like when you look at the energy levels in our electrons, as we're told, basic physics, when an electron wants to move from one energy field to the other, it's a question of being excited. It receives this jolt of energy, this bolt, if I want to use that word now, of energy, and boom, it moves it becomes excited, and it jumps practically from one level of energy field to a higher level. That is change. But all of this is hinged on that principle of energy. Yeah, energy. It could be physical, it could be spiritual, but you need, for any change to take place, we need energy, and we need courage to manage this energy. So I'm going to go through it now. Enough said. Okay, let's continue this journey. Now, what I did that day was on career transitions. You're switching from one industry and, changing from one industry to the other, or you're moving from one career path to the other. So let us view it like you're going on. So it is like moving from, you're climbing some set of stairs. You're moving from the lower end of the stairs, upwards, flight of stairs, even if it's ascending or descending, as the case may be. But there's this energy you need to gather to take those steps, and as you move. Now, I want us to look at it from this point. You don't rush into a new career. No, you don't rush into it. You don't just jump into a new role without identifying the skills and knowledge you need. The result, you jeopardize those, should I say, moment. So you need to sit down, ask yourself, certain questions. Like, you use a gap analysis. You look at where you are presently, the job you're doing, the role you're covering, as against, the new role you want to step into. You look at that. What do I possess now in terms of skill sets and all of that, as against the competencies required in covering that role? It's like saying somebody who wants to get married, you think you're of age, you want to get married, but you need to ask yourself certain questions. As a guy or as a lady, do I possess XYZ in terms of would I say skills, to cover this role? Do I really have it? You ask yourself all of these questions before you jump into it. So you carry out that gap analysis to know, okay, what is required? This is what I possess presently. What do you think I need, new role and all of that? So you don't just jump into it. You actually ask yourself these questions, and you would see it will come up. Then you know your why. Before transitioning, before that movement, you need to ask yourself necessary questions. This new career I'm going into, why? You reflect on what are the motivations? What's motivating you? Why do you want to go into that new role? Is it because like we're all the famous saying, job satisfaction? I am not satisfied. I want to I want to, get more out of my job and all of that. That is why. Is that the reason? Is that why you want to go into that? Well, if so, why not? If not, you jump in. Yes, why not? If not, you jump in. But you must ask yourself, you must know your why. Or another reason again is that you're looking for flexibility. Like what you're doing currently is giving you so much what I say is not allowing you, like do other things. So you need flexibility. Is affecting your work, your life, your home, and all of that. So you now begin to think, okay, what would I do that will give me time to like fulfill all the others? But all of this must come from knowing your why, knowing your why. Then again, after you've known your why, you become self-aware. You just have to be self-aware by understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and boundaries. you know you can make a more informed decision about whether or not a career change is good for you. Know your why, yourself. You must know yourself. Who are you? Who am I? Now that I know my why, because I want to transit, who am I? Are you a patient person? You ask yourself, oh, look at yourself in the mirror. Yes. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask all of those questions, because if you don't know who you are, the likelihood of transiting becomes like a big, big, big problem for you. So you must know that. Then you do the legwork. You don't just sit down and wish. No. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So you want to like fit in or supersede your talent and all of that. So you must know. You just have to. You go out, you do the legwork, make the necessary research, the industry and all that. Recently, I was looking at this report about profitable businesses globally. That the 10 most profitable businesses in the world. So I was going through the list. We just had two industries, two. Yes, that's the tech space and oil and gas, or what we call energy. Within the energy space, you hear names like Saudi Aramco, Exxon Mobil, and what have you. All of them, you hear big names like that. Then in the tech space, things like Apple, what the Alphabet, Google, and the rest of them. So the question now is, these are the 10 most profitable businesses in the world. So it tells the resources on the earth, a good chunk of it will be within the spaces. So if I want to like also get in there, I have to like understand these spaces, how they work and all of that. So I need to do my research. Like you hear people who find themselves within the culinary space, maybe fashion or tech space, and they just tell you, I want to pivot, I want to transit, I want to like that. And you ask certain questions that they don't have an idea, they don't have a clue of what happens in that space that they desire. But listen, you just have to like get yourself involved. How? Research, ask questions. Yeah. You take a course, do courses, on those areas. Like, I want to go into the oil and gas space. What do you know about oil and gas, or the energy space, renewable energy and all of that? What do you know about it? What do you know about oil politics? Do you have a good understanding of oil politics? So these are the things you begin to ask yourself. Okay, I want to go into the tech space. What do you know about the tech space? What is happening today, with all the artificial intelligence flying everywhere and all of that, the narrative. So you do the legwork. You don't just sit down there. You do the legwork. Then you grow your network. It is very key. It is very key. You be on the lookout for professionals you can relate with in your desired career. This relationship doesn't have to be direct per se. It could be a virtual relation. relationship, I beg your pardon, where you follow these people as thought leaders, or in what they do, you find yourself within them. A good example is like, okay, I want to go into the leadership space. I want to go into that, industry, that career, or that space. I look for a big name there. Somebody like maybe John Maxwell. I look at John Maxwell. I look at the people that follow him. I see maybe names like the catalyst Larry Olushola. I see names like the nation builder Safela Durotoye. I see people like maybe Vuzi Thembekwayo and the rest of them. And it's like, okay. And you go follow them, see what they are doing, the kind of structure they have, and the kind of materials you see within their space. It's like, okay, these are the kind of things they do. So you begin to follow, you follow. In Nigeria, we say, follow who know road. So you're following, them in that, and you're also growing your capacity. This will help, you leverage on their experiences or social connections to succeed in the industry. Yes, you encounter them. So you don't just sit down and tell yourself, okay, this is, I wish. No, you don't just wish. You move. Like make those move. You move and all of that. And you have to understand, you don't have to be selfish here. You don't have to be self-centered. Even if you're becoming self-aware and knowing your why, you don't have to be self-centered. Rather, you need to reach out, break out of that cocoon and create the network. And from there, you begin to grow. These principles can be applied across board, not just in career alone, managing our homes. Change is a constant. We live in the bubble of change. Every day we wake up to one form of change. Are within us. And again, just the headings, the head. You don't rush into a career. Don't rush into that decision. Take your time. Know your why. Yes, know your why. Then you become self-aware. Knowledge is key here. Being aware, is self-aware. Then you do the legwork. You work. You do the legwork. You don't just sit down. You do the legwork. Go around, search things out, and all of that. Then you grow your network. You are not an island. No, you are not. And you shouldn't be. You should be a flow. You should be flowing, and all of that. Well, guys, this is what I came to do on the show today, just to share this with you. I hope you've learned one thing or two from this. But listen, in all of this, have it at the back of your mind. Work defines who we are. That's why we're here, and we can make the best. We can make the best of it. All right, guys. You know how we say it on the show. Till I come your way again. Bye for now.